Okay, so get this picture in your head.
Okay.
It's Los Angeles,
All right.
1927,
Okay.
Christmas time. You're celebrating your wife's 40th birthday at home,
Mm-hmm.
and you get this phone call, and it just sends your family spiraling into this total nightmare.
Oh.
Your 12-year-old daughter, Marion, is missing. Gone.
Oh, wow.
Last seen, leaving school with some guy,
Yeah.
saying he's your coworker,
Oh, no.
and you've never seen this guy before in your life.
Yeah, that's a terrifying thought.
I can't even imagine.
Just the not knowing.
It's Perry and Geraldine Parker this happened to.
Right, right.
And it really did become this huge case.
It did.
The kidnapping and murder of Marion Parker.
It's a case that, it's so interesting because we see so much of this dark side of America in the 20s.
Yeah.
And it also, brings up all these questions about how the media reacts to these things and how investigations can be flawed.
And what evil is, really.
What evil is, you got it. That's what we're diving into today based on those 2 Morbid episodes you sent.
Yes. It's
It's a wild ride.
It is.
So buckle up.
Let's rewind all the way back to December 15th, 1927.
Okay.
A Thursday, seemingly normal day at Mount Vernon Junior High School.
Right before Christmas break.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's excited.
The kids are just like
Antsy?
bouncing off the walls, ready to get out.
Exactly.
But then this guy walks in.
Yeah, just like blends right in. Nobody really remembers him. Nothing super remarkable about his appearance.
Average height, build.
Yeah.
Average everything.
But he says,
That he's Mr. Cooper.
Mr. Cooper.
And that he's Perry's coworker.
And that's where things really go wrong.
Yeah.
Because he says, oh, yeah, Perry's been in this accident.
You need to come with me right now.
Right.
Like, why wouldn't you call an ambulance? Why wouldn't you call, the mom? Like, why a coworker?
So many red flags.
Red flag city.
Like, shouldn't the alarm bells be going off?
Major alarm bell.
And the thing is, he doesn't even seem to realize that there are 2 daughters.
Right.
They're twins.
Identical twins. So many things wrong here.
Yeah, and this is where it gets really, really sad. Because the teacher, Mary Holt, she doesn't verify the story at all.
What?
And she lets Marion just go with this stranger.
Oh, my God.
It's a decision that really stayed with her.
Oh, I bet, yeah. For the rest of her life.
Yeah, and I think for us as listeners and, people who hear these stories, it's just that reminder.
Of how careful you have to be.
How careful you have to be. You have to be vigilant.
Especially when it comes to kids.
Especially when it comes to kids.
And just making sure that things are verified, that there's clear communication.
Yes. Yes, communication is key.
And in the meantime, Marion's twin sister Marjorie is just waiting outside.
Oh, gosh.
Completely oblivious.
Just waiting for her sister.
It's got to be so hard to think about.
And it isn't until she gets home and her parents are like, wait, where's Marion?
Yeah.
That it all hits the fan.
Oh, my gosh.
And right as Perry's about to call the police,
Yeah.
a Western Union messenger shows up with a telegram from Pasadena saying, do positively nothing.
Are you serious?
And they realize their daughter has been kidnapped.
Oh, my God.
It's terrifying.
It's awful.
Shortly after that, another telegram comes in, signed George Fox,
Okay.
saying Marion is safe, but you have to comply.
With whatever he says. Exactly.
This is scary.
It's like a game
Yeah.
that you don't want to play.
It's like cat and mouse.
It is.
It's like the worst stakes imaginable.
Absolutely. And then the third telegram comes signed Fate.
Fate.
Yeah. Laying out the ransom, $1,500 and $20 gold certificates.
That's kind of a weird number, right?
A little bit. Yeah, like even back then, that was pretty low.
So it makes you think, like, is it even just about the money?
Exactly.
Or is there something else going on here? But here's what really gets me.
Okay.
This handwritten note from Marion comes with the telegram.
Oh, no.
And she's saying, Daddy, please do what this man tells you or he'll kill me.
Oh, my God.
Like, you can just feel the terror in her words.
Just a little girl.
It's just heartbreaking. And so they're like, do we call the police? Do we not call the police?
I can't imagine.
They decide to wait. They're hoping for some more contact, but then the morning comes and there's nothing.
Oh.
And the silence is just deafening, so they finally reach out to the authorities.
So they're talking to the detectives.
They're giving their statements.
And then another telegram comes in.
Oh, gosh.
And the stakes are raised even higher this time.
What does it say?
Failure to comply means no one will ever see the girl again except the angels in heaven.
Oh, my gosh.
And he signs it Fate Fox.
Fate Fox. Oh, my gosh. He's really driving this home.
Yeah, he's playing with them.
He's enjoying the power.
Yeah, like the power over them.
And this is where the police maybe made a mistake.
What happened?
They said, we'll work discreetly.
Okay.
but they decided to follow Perry as he tries to make this first ransom drop.
I mean, did they mess up?
I mean, that's the question, isn't it?
Did that make things worse?
Did that put Marion in danger?
Because it seems like he knew they were there.
Right.
Because then he sends another telegram.
Oh, no.
And this time it's about Marjorie, the twin sister.
Oh, gosh.
It's just awful.
He's really up in the ante.
Like, he's really a monster to do that.
He's chilling.
Then he calls again, tells Perry to go to his different place for the exchange.
Okay.
And Perry gets this brief glimpse of Marion in the car.
Okay.
She seems drugged.
Oh, no.
Her eyes are open, but they're not focused.
It's like she's not even there.
I can't imagine.
That feeling of seeing your child, but they're not really there.
It would be just devastating.
Oh, absolutely.
So Perry just desperate to get her backhands over the ransom money.
Right.
But then the kidnapper throws this bundle out of the car.
Oh, no.
And it's not Marion, it's her body.
Oh, my God.
It's your mutilated body.
Oh, that's horrible. And it's just horrific. I mean, her legs and her lower arms, they were severed.
Oh, my gosh.
It's just brutal. Even for seasoned investigators, they were shocked.
And then the coroner, Dr. A.F. Wagner,
Oh, yeah.
he lived near the Parkers.
Really?
So creepy.
That's so strange.
And he does the autopsy, and it just gets worse.
What did they find?
Marion's eyes, they had been sewn open,
Oh.
and she had makeup on her cheeks.
It's like he wanted to make it look like she was still alive.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
the exchange.
Just the thought of that.
It's just evil.
Calculated evil.
Yeah, it wasn't just like something went wrong.
Bro.
This was all planned.
Oh, it's just awful. And I can't even imagine what they did to California.
Oh, it was huge news.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was talking about it. This massive manhunt started.
It was front page news everywhere, right?
Everywhere you looked.
With all those gruesome details.
I mean, you think about the Parker family having to see that.
That's not my...
While they're grieving, it's just...
It's horrible.
It was relentless and it was so sensationalized.
Oh, my God.
I mean, they really focused on how brutal it was.
And it just makes people so afraid.
It really does. It brings out this fear and this rage.
And then people start taking things into their own hands.
Yeah, you start to see this vigilantism popping up.
Yeah, like anyone who kind of looked like the suspect.
Yeah, they were getting harassed, attacked.
Really?
Some even committed suicide.
Oh, my God. It's like a mob mentality.
Yeah, it's trial by public opinion.
And it's so dangerous.
It really is, because it doesn't lead to justice.
It just leads to more chaos.
Exactly.
But amidst all this chaos, the investigators are actually doing their job.
Yeah, they're following every lead.
And they find his car.
The kidnapper's car.
Abandoned.
Abandoned.
But there's something in there.
What is it?
Fingerprints.
On the steering wheel.
On the steering wheel.
Oh, wow.
And they lead them to William Edward Hickman.
Okay.
He was only 19 years old.
19?
I mean, how...
That's so young.
Yeah, you think about someone that young doing something like that.
It's hard to comprehend.
And he had worked at the same bank as Perry Parker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he had actually been fired.
What happened?
Well, Perry had testified against him in a forgery case.
Ah, so maybe it was revenge?
That's what they thought.
But does revenge really explain all of that?
I don't think so.
Me neither.
It's too much.
It's too much.
So they finally catch Hickman.
Yeah, they bring him back to L.A.
And he just starts making up all these stories.
What kind of stories?
He's saying he didn't do it.
Okay.
That it was these other people. Andrew Kramer and June Dunning.
Like he's trying to shift the blame.
Yeah.
Classic.
But they find out that those people either don't exist
Right.
or they were in jail at the time.
Of course.
So that didn't work.
So what happens next?
So then he changes his story
Okay.
and he starts hinting that he's insane.
Oh, like the insanity plea.
Yeah, he even asked a guard, like, how does someone act crazy?
Oh my God, he's not even trying to be subtle.
Not at all.
But he's pretty smart.
Yeah, and he's able to explain himself.
Right.
So it makes it hard to believe that he's really insane.
Yeah, the psychiatrists, they evaluate him and they don't find any evidence of like psychosis.
Right.
He seems to know exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, and then he makes it even weirder.
What does he do?
He says that he did it because this god told him to.
Wait.
He called the god Providence.
Providence.
I mean, back then people thought,
Yeah, they thought stuff like that was just religious mania
yeah, like you were possessed by a demon.
or something.
So it really affected how everyone saw the case.
Even the lawyers, the
Yeah.
prosecution saying it was all planned out, he wanted revenge.
Yeah.
And the defense is like, no, he's crazy.
And of course, the media is loving it.
Oh, yeah. They ate it up every little detail.
Every twist and turn.
It's like a soap opera.
It's crazy. But in the end, the jury didn't buy it.
No.
They found him guilty,
Wow.
and he was sentenced to death.
By hanging.
Yeah, but even then, he didn't stop.
What do you mean?
Even as he's on death row,
Right.
he starts confessing to other crimes,
Really?
saying, oh, it's the Christian thing to do,
Oh, come on.
as he's about to be executed.
It's like he's still trying to control things?
Yeah, it's like one last attempt to manipulate everyone.
It's so disturbing.
I mean, even with all the evidence
Right.
and the guilty verdict,
He's still trying to spin it.
it makes you wonder what was really going on in his head.
Yeah, and even his execution, it doesn't really bring closure.
No, because we never really know why.
Yeah, he never said why he did it.
And that's what's so unsettling.
It's like evil just doesn't make sense sometimes.
It really doesn't. And it's a case that just sticks with you.
Yeah.
Not just because of what happened to Marion,
Right.
but because there's so many questions.
It's like we're looking into this darkness that we don't understand.
Exactly.
And the whole case really changed how the media covers crime.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think about it. The way they were just putting all those details out there.
Yeah, and the pictures?
It's almost like they were exploiting the tragedy.
Yeah, and it made people so scared and angry.
And then you have the vigilantism.
It's a mess.
It really makes you think about what's ethical.
Absolutely. Like, where's the line?
Yeah, when does informing the public become just using a tragedy to make money? And how much power does the media have to influence people?
Yeah, it's a question we're still dealing with today.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, look at the news now.
It's constant.
It's like a 247 cycle.
And social media makes it even worse.
Yeah, it just amplifies
Do
everything.
you think we could see something like that again today?
Like the mob mentality.
Yeah, and the media frenzy.
It's a scary thought, but it's possible.
It's definitely something to think about.
The Marion Parker case, it's like a warning.
Yeah.
It's telling us to be careful about what we believe.
Don't just take everything at face value.
Think for yourself.
And remember that real people are affected by these stories.
It's not just entertainment.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what really stands out to you?
What makes you think about your own family
Yeah.
and how important it is to keep them safe?
And to be aware of what's going on around you.
Right, and to make sure schools and communities are taking safety seriously.
But it's also about how we engage with true crime. It shouldn't just be about the gore and the shock value.
We need to think critically
Have empathy,
and learn from these stories.
so we can try to prevent something like this from happening again.
Exactly.
Well said. And if you want to learn even more about this case,
Yeah, definitely check out those Morbid episodes.
they're really well done.
They have the actual ransom notes and interviews.
It's pretty intense.
It is.
So until next time, keep asking those questions
Keep learning.
and keep diving deep.